Hey everyone, it's Alison. Welcome to the video. I'm still working on Strength from Within, as I will be for a while, I'm sure. I'm taking a little break from stippling today because my last few videos have been stippling and I feel like it could potentially be getting old, and it is a slow process. So today I'm going to work on the hair and I'm going to make it look a little bit like mine because I kind of like the way my hair looks today, and it's the same like silhouette. And while I do that, I want to talk about something kind of like annoying, and I feel like, I'm sure I can't be the only artist who feels that way, so I'm curious to see like if people will, like what the reaction will be. But what I want to talk about is assumptions people make about artistic people and their personality. So let's go. Okay, so the first thing that I hear a lot that I really dislike about being an artist, people will assume that being artistic means that I am not good at other things. Like they'll think like, oh, so you're really artsy, so like math probably isn't your thing, or you're probably not that focused on like the sciences or whatever. Like they assume that whole like left brain, right brain thing, they think you're only into like the creative side of the world and you're not interested in things that are more like grounded or like logic based, or things that are more associated with like that side of the brain. And I really don't like that, because like, yeah, just because I enjoy daydreaming and making pretty pictures doesn't mean that I'm not also interested in the maths or sciences, or like learning new things, or being physically fit or active. Like I don't like that people assume that being artistic means that's like your only hobby or your only talent. Like you can be interested in all sorts of different things and learning all sorts of different things. I wish people would get out of that mentality of like a person can only have one passion or one type of interest. And even if they feel that way about themselves, I would love for them to stop applying that to other people, especially me. Because, like I said, just because I'm interested and passionate about art does not mean that there aren't other things that I'm really passionate about. It's just a really weird assumption to make about someone. Once again, I'm remembering how hard it is to do these really precise lines while talking, but I'm gonna keep doing my best. Okay, so there's another thing that annoys me that people have assumed about me as an artist, and I see people assume in general about artistic people, and that's that they are very sensitive and very like fragile, or like people who are prone to like displaying their emotions. So I'm not that type of person. I don't cry. I don't like to talk about my emotions. I don't like to dig into feelings. I wouldn't call myself empathic in any way. Like those are not attributes that, like I value those attributes and I think they're important, but they don't apply to me. Like that's not who I am. And I think it's really strange when people assume that because I'm passionate about the arts and because I have the ability to put my emotions and experiences into art, that automatically makes me this like very soft, certain type of person. And like they'll talk to me that way. Like they'll talk to me in this like hushed voice about like, oh, can you like explain? And they get this like soft look, and I'm like, just because I'm talking about, tough things or personal things, or just because I am making art that makes you feel a certain way, that doesn't mean that you need to address me as though I'm going to fall apart. Like, I don't know. And I think part of that is artists are kind of portrayed that way in media a lot. Like they're shown as this very reclusive, like in the corner, has tons of pets, like not good at interacting with people, like awkward, quiet genius. And there's totally people like that. There's a reason that they're portrayed that way, but there's also artists who are totally enigmatic and completely like Picasso, where they're just like love being the center of attention and love being out there and being weird. And there's artists who are like me, who are just doing it and not looking for any kind of pat on the back or a shoulder to cry on. You know, some of us just like making work. Another thing that I can't stand, and I could probably do a whole video about this, but I don't even want to, but I think it's worth mentioning, is when people, so my astrological sign is Pisces, and I don't know a whole lot about that. That's not something that I've learned about or ever been like super interested in. But what I know about it, because people keep telling me, is that apparently it's thought that people who are Pisces are very creative, and I can't stand when people are like, oh, no wonder you're good at art, you're a Pisces. Like, no, I'm good at art because I realized at a young age that I liked it, and I kept at it and practiced until I got good at it. It's not because I was born in February. Like, it's not because I was conceived 9 months before and some sort of coincidence happened and like the stars shot artistic ability into me. Like, give me some credit. Like, don't just attribute what I do to a happenstance of birth. Unrelated. I don't really know what's happening up here. But it kind of looks like there's a breeze running through, like, and it's even making me consider working the hair into the texture of the mountain at places. That would be interesting. I'm kind of loosely following the pencil lines that I put in here. And I'm also just kind of choosing as I go what I want it to look like. Just feeling it out as I move along. This is gonna take just as long as the stipples probably. Like, it's a lot of space to fill and it's hair, so there's a lot of it. Anyway, that kind of brings me to the last assumption that people make about me because I'm artistic that just doesn't sit well with me. And this one hasn't happened very frequently, but it was weird enough that it stuck with me. And that was the assumption of my religious beliefs because I'm artistic. I was having a conversation with someone I really don't know about art and about it was like a philosophical discussion, and he was like, well, you're an artist, like, don't you believe in the existence of a God, and like, don't you have a spiritual connection? Like, as an artist, like, that's a very spiritual thing, and so you must be a spiritual person. And whether that's true or not, again, this was someone that I don't know. This was someone I'd only very recently started having a conversation with, just kind of on the fly, like, about different belief systems and stuff. And I thought it was really weird to bring in the fact that I'm an artist and assert that I must have these certain beliefs just because of that. And I know that art can feel very spiritual for people, and I think that's great. And art is a healing process, and whatever it is for anyone, there's no wrong answer for what art is to you, but there is a wrong answer for what art is to me. And asserting that I would have to share a certain value system or a certain belief system just because I happen to enjoy running my pen across some paper, that's super weird to me. And I also think it's so strange to say that to me and be like, no, your beliefs must be this because you like to draw. I mean, that's like saying you must be really into murder because you play Call of Duty. Like, those are weird things. Weird assumptions to make. So again, yeah, I'm curious to hear what other artists or creatives think about that. Maybe for some people it's not even, doesn't bother them as much as it bothers me. And I will say that one reason that it really doesn't sit well with me is like, you know, I'm Black, I'm a woman, I get stereotyped enough already. People make assumptions about my personality, like snap judgments when they see me just like that. And so I get enough of it without people then adding on like, oh, artist, so also you're like this. Like, I just really want to get to a point where people just don't vocalize these preconceptions that they have in their head and just take a moment to observe and learn before asserting their assumptions. I don't think that's too much to ask. Because artists, like any other profession, are varied, they're unique, they're interesting in every way, they're all different. I don't think it's fair to any of us to assume that we all have these shared traits and we all have this one type of personality and we all see the world the same way. Plus, doing that really robs you of the opportunity to truly observe and to truly observe like the work the artist is making. You know, if you go in with your own assumptions, you are robbing yourself of the opportunity to see something new or to potentially learn something, because you're kind of making up your mind already about like what this person is and what the art is supposed to be. Like, you could look at that with no preconceptions and get something totally awesome and amazing from it. But if you're just going in thinking all artists are this or all artists are that, you might not be getting anything that you could. And also, it just is annoying to me. Some progress on the hair. We got some stuff going on. Again, it's a slow process talking while doing these, which is why sometimes I just overlay my talking and speed through it. But I don't know. The mood I was in today was to draw while talking to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Do these assumptions bother you or not? Have you like never even experienced that and that's just something that I'm experiencing, maybe disproportionate to other people? Let me know what you think. And I will be posting more videos with this drawing for a while, so make sure to check them out. And I'll talk to you later.